Discover the secret personal finance tricks and tips that will transform your financial future. Say goodbye to money stress and hello to financial freedom as you gain insight from this video. Many people have heard of personal finance, but practice. This is because some people struggle to relate to the tips and tricks even though they hear about them frequently. In this video, we will use relatable scenarios to illustrate and reinforce each personal finance tip and trick, making it easier for you to understand the steps to take. So watch the video patiently until the end to ensure you don't miss out on any of these fantastic tips. Now let's delve into each of the tips and tricks of personal finance. 1. Create a budget. Creating a budget is like painting a beautiful picture of your financial future. It involves carefully planning and organizing your income and expenses to ensure you are in control of your money. To create a budget, start by listing all your sources of income, such as salary or side hustles. Then, jot down all your expenses, including bills, groceries, and entertainment. Next comes the exciting part, allocating funds to different categories based on their importance. Imagine Jones as our character here. Jones decides to prioritize saving for an upcoming vacation and paying off debt. So he assigns more money towards these goals while still leaving room for other essentials. But why create a budget? Well, it's like having a compass that guides you towards financial success. By tracking your spending habits and setting realistic goals through budgeting, you can save more effectively and avoid unnecessary debt. Let's talk about when to create a budget. The answer is simple: now. There's no better time than the present to take control of your finances and start building a brighter future for yourself. So grab that pen and paper or use an online tool. It's time to unleash Jones's inner financial artist. Remember, creating a budget isn't just about numbers. It's about empowering yourself with knowledge and making intentional choices that align with your dreams. Save regularly. Saving is the act of setting aside a portion of your income for future use. It involves being mindful of your spending habits and making conscious decisions to put money aside instead of spending it all at once. Peter, our character, can serve as an example to understand the concept better. Peter understands that saving is important because it allows him to achieve his financial goals and provides a safety net for unexpected expenses. He knows that by saving effectively, he can have peace of mind knowing that he has funds available when needed. To save effectively, Peter follows a few simple steps. First, he creates a budget to track his income and expenses. This helps him identify areas where he can cut back on unnecessary spending and allocate more towards savings. He also sets specific savings goals, whether it's for emergencies, buying a house or car, or planning for retirement. Peter makes saving automatic by setting up automatic transfers from his paycheck into a separate savings account. This way, he doesn't have to rely on willpower alone to save consistently. He also looks for ways to increase his income through side hustles or investing wisely in order to save even more. By diversifying his sources of income, Peter ensures that he has multiple avenues for building wealth over time. Lastly, Peter understands the importance of timing when it comes to saving. He starts as early as possible because time is an ally in growing wealth through compound interest. The earlier you start saving and investing wisely, the more time your money has to grow exponentially. In summary, saving is about being intentional with your money and making wise choices about how you spend and save it. By following Peter's example, creating a budget, setting goals, automating savings transfers, you too can become an effective saver who builds financial security and achieves long-term financial success. Cut unnecessary expenses. Cutting unnecessary expenses is the art of trimming down our spending to focus on what truly matters. It's about making conscious choices to eliminate wasteful expenditures and prioritize our financial well-being. To cut unnecessary expenses effectively, let's use Jane to paint a scenario. Jane can start by analyzing her monthly budget and identifying areas where she can make adjustments. This could involve reducing discretionary spending, such as eating out less or canceling unused subscriptions. Jane should also consider negotiating better deals on bills or finding more affordable alternatives for everyday items. By cutting unnecessary expenses, Jane will not only save money and create opportunities for future growth. It's an ongoing process that requires regular evaluation and adjustment. So whenever Jane feels overwhelmed by financial burdens or wants to achieve specific goals, it's time for her to reassess her spending habits and make necessary cuts once again. You'll pay off high-interest debt. Paying off high-interest debt is the process of eliminating outstanding balances on loans or credit cards that come with steep interest rates. It's all about taking control of your financial situation and freeing yourself from the burden of excessive interest charges. Let's use our imaginary character Eugene to illustrate this. To pay off high-interest debt effectively, Eugene can start by creating a budget to track his income and expenses. This will help him identify areas where he can cut back on unnecessary spending and allocate more money towards debt repayment. Eugene should also consider using any extra income, such as bonuses or tax refunds, to make larger payments towards his high-interest debts. Another effective strategy for paying off high-interest debt is called the debt avalanche method. This involves prioritizing debts with the highest interest rates first, while making minimum payments on other debts. By tackling the most expensive debts first, Eugene can save money in the long run by reducing overall interest charges. It's important for Eugene to understand why paying off high-interest debt is crucial for his financial well-being. High-interest debts can quickly accumulate and become overwhelming, making it difficult to achieve other financial goals such as saving for retirement or buying a home. By paying off these debts, Eugene will not only save money on interest, but also improve his credit score and gain peace of mind knowing that he is taking control of his finances. As for when to pay off high-interest debt, it's best to start as soon as possible. The longer Eugene waits, the more he will end up paying in interest charges over time. By prioritizing this goal and making consistent efforts towards repayment, Eugene can gradually eliminate his high-interest debt and pave the way for a brighter financial future. Remember, Eugene has what it takes to conquer his high-interest debt. With determination and smart strategies in place, he can overcome this challenge one step at a time. I've built an emergency fund. Building an emergency fund is the act of setting aside money specifically for unexpected situations or emergencies. It involves saving a portion of your income regularly, with the intention of creating a financial safety net. By doing so, you are preparing yourself to handle unforeseen expenses without having to rely on credit cards or loans. To build an emergency fund effectively, it is important to start by determining how much you need to save. A general rule of thumb is to aim for 3 to 6 months' worth of living expenses. This amount may vary depending on individual circumstances and financial goals. Next, establish a realistic timeline for reaching your savings goal. Set aside a specific amount from each paycheck and make it a priority in your budget. Consider automating your savings by setting up automatic transfers into a separate account dedicated solely to your emergency fund. Now let's introduce Martins as our character who wants to build an emergency fund effectively. Martins understands the importance of being financially prepared for unexpected events such as medical emergencies, job loss, or car repairs. He starts by analyzing his monthly expenses and determines that he needs $10,000 in his emergency fund. Martins decides to save $500 per month towards his goal. He creates a separate savings account specifically for his emergency fund and sets up automatic transfers from his main checking account every payday. By consistently saving $500 per month over 20 months, Martins successfully builds his $10,000 emergency fund. With this financial safety net in place, he gains peace of mind, knowing that he can handle any unforeseen circumstances that may arise without falling into debt or experiencing undue stress. Remember that building an emergency fund is not just about saving money. It's about creating financial security and protecting yourself from unexpected challenges along life's journey. Start today and take control of your future. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel as we explore wealth creation routes together. 6. Invest wisely. Investing wisely is the art of making smart financial decisions to grow your wealth over time. It involves carefully allocating your resources into different investment options, such as stocks, bonds, real estate, or mutual funds. John, our character in this scenario, understands the importance of investing wisely and wants to make his money work for him. To invest wisely, John starts by educating himself about various investment strategies and understanding his financial goals. He knows that investing is not a one-size-fits-all approach and that each person's circumstances are unique. By setting clear objectives and assessing his risk tolerance, John can tailor his investment plan accordingly. John also realizes the significance of diversification in his portfolio. Instead of putting all his eggs in one basket, he spreads out his investments across different asset classes to minimize risk. This way, if one investment underperforms or faces challenges, others can potentially compensate for it. Timing plays a crucial role in investing wisely as well. John knows that trying to time the market perfectly is nearly impossible, but believes in taking advantage of favorable conditions when they arise. He keeps an eye on market trends and consults with financial advisors to make informed decisions about when to buy or sell investments. Lastly, John understands that patience is key when it comes to investing wisely. He knows that building wealth takes time, and there may be ups and downs along the way. By staying focused on long-term goals rather than short-term fluctuations, he remains committed to his investment strategy. In summary, investing wisely means making informed choices based on knowledge and careful consideration of personal circumstances like John does. It's about setting clear goals, diversifying investments intelligently while keeping an eye on timing opportunities, all while maintaining patience for long-term growth. 7. Tax planning. Tax planning is the art of strategically managing your finances to minimize the amount of taxes you owe. It involves analyzing your income, expenses, and investments to find legal ways to reduce your tax liability. By taking advantage of various deductions, credits, and exemptions, you can effectively plan your taxes and potentially save a significant amount of money. Let's imagine Angela as our character. Angela is a smart and savvy individual who understands the importance of tax planning. She knows that by carefully organizing her financial affairs, she can optimize her tax situation. Angela starts by gathering all her financial information, including income statements, receipts for expenses, investment records, and any relevant documents. This allows her to have a clear picture of her overall financial situation. Next, Angela educates herself on the latest tax laws and regulations. By staying informed about changes in tax legislation or new opportunities for deductions or credits, she ensures that she maximizes her savings potential. Once armed with this knowledge, Angela begins strategizing how to plan her taxes effectively. She looks for ways to legally reduce taxable income by taking advantage of deductions such as mortgage interest or charitable contributions. Angela also explores investment options that offer favorable tax treatment like retirement accounts or capital gains strategies. By investing in these schemes wisely and understanding their associated tax benefits or consequences thoroughly beforehand, Angela makes sure she doesn't miss out on any potential savings opportunities while avoiding unnecessary risks. Importantly, tax planning is not just a one-time event for Angela. It's an ongoing process throughout the year. She regularly reviews her financial situation, keeping track of any changes that may affect her taxes. By doing so, she stays proactive and adjusts her strategy accordingly. This way, she avoids last-minute surprises and maintains control over her finances. In conclusion, tax planning is crucial for anyone who wants to optimize their financial well-being. By understanding what it entails, how to plan effectively, and why it's essential, Angela and individuals like her can take charge of their tax situation, minimize their liabilities, and ultimately achieve greater financial success. 8. Retirement planning. Retirement planning is the process of preparing for a financially secure and fulfilling life after you stop working. It involves setting goals, making strategic decisions, and taking actions to ensure a comfortable retirement. To plan for retirement effectively, it's important to consider factors such as your desired lifestyle, estimated expenses, sources of income, such as pensions or investments, and potential healthcare costs. Now let's introduce Grace, our character who will guide us through this journey. Grace is a wise and diligent individual who understands the importance of planning ahead. She recognizes that retirement planning is not just about saving money, but also about envisioning the kind of life she wants to lead in her golden years. Grace starts by assessing her current financial situation and determining how much she needs to save for retirement. She takes into account her age, expected lifespan, and any existing savings or investments. With this information in hand, Grace sets clear goals for herself, whether it's traveling the world or spending quality time with loved ones, so she knows what she's working towards. Next comes the crucial step of creating a budget that allows Grace to save enough money each month while still enjoying her present life. She cuts back on unnecessary expenses and finds ways to increase her income through side hustles or investments. Grace also understands that relying solely on Social Security may not be sufficient for a comfortable retirement. Therefore, she explores other options like employer-sponsored 401k plans or individual retirement accounts, IRAs, to maximize her savings potential. But it doesn't stop there. Grace regularly reviews and adjusts her retirement plan as circumstances change, whether it's due to career advancements, unexpected expenses, or shifts in personal priorities. By diligently following these steps throughout her working years, Grace ensures that when the time comes for her well-deserved retirement adventure begins, She can embrace it with confidence and peace of mind, knowing that all aspects have been carefully considered. So remember, retirement planning is not just a financial exercise, it's about envisioning the life you want to lead and taking proactive steps to make it a reality. Start planning today and let Grace inspire you on your own retirement journey. Remember that personal finance is all about making informed decisions that align with your financial goals and values. By following these tips and tricks consistently over time, you can take control of your finances and work towards achieving financial stability and security. We have always emphasized the importance of consulting your financial advisor and doing your personal research before making investment decisions, as this video does not act as a substitute for your due diligence before investing. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button and see you in our next video.